Welcome to my workshop. In today's video I want to show you how to make a super simple jig that you can probably make in about 20 minutes time to help you immensely in clamping picture frames. With this simple jig you're going to be able to clamp up even the most oddly shaped project. So let me take you through the details of creating this jig, and then I'm going to show you very quickly how to use it on some strange things like that as well. For this project I'm going to be using this piece of pine I've got. It's 22 millimeters in thickness, so let's cut all the pieces to the right sizes. It all depends on how many pieces you need to do, but you do need at least two. And the length of them, I'm going for 25 centimeters, however you can go longer or shorter. Now, as I mentioned, my board is 22 millimeters in thickness, and to be fair, you should be looking for that type of thickness, something a little bit more substantial. I probably wouldn't go anything lower than 18 millimeters. And in total, I'm going with 4 pieces. Now let's get back to the miter saw and change the angle to 45 degrees. And to make sure that all the pieces are at the same dimension, I'm just setting up this very simple stop block system. And now I'm going to be cutting out 8 pieces at 45 degrees. To make sure the clamping is nice and stable to one side, I'm actually going to apply a bit of sandpaper. So you can get these in sheets, so this is like a fabric type sandpaper. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it to size. So you get a strip like this. The grit I'm using is 100. I would recommend anything between 80 to 120 will be absolutely fine. Now, before attaching the sandpaper strips, what we're gonna do is to actually attach our triangles, okay? They need to be just like so. And the distance from the ends, I'm gonna have it at, let's say, 3.5 centimeters. That should be just fine. Now the triangles, they need to be secured quite well, and so they will withstand a bit of pressure. Therefore I'm going to be using a bit of wood glue, some CA glue for the initial quick grab, and then we're going to reinforce this with some screws. And the final part is to attach our sandpaper strip to the back like so. In my case I'm just going to be using a bit of CA glue with an activator. However, you know, you can use, I don't know, for example, double-sided tape or any other means of attaching this to our jig. And there you go, one piece of our jig is done. To be fair, you do only need 2 of these, you know, to go around the perimeter, for example, of your picture frame. However, if you do have 4, the job will go a lot quicker. And you can use these not only for picture frames, but other angled connections, which I'm going to show you in a second. Now, the way you use this is absolutely dead simple. You just offer the pieces of our jig to the main body of the picture frame, for example, and clamp it down. And because we do have that sandpaper strip at the back, you don't really need that much pressure from the clamp on this at all. And now grab yourself some normal clamps and just clamp this down. And just like that, your picture frame is fully clamped up at perfect corners, perfect miters, no issues at all with simple jig like these. But hey, I did say not only picture frames. Check this out. For example, maybe you are building some sort of a type of furniture and you've got a nice beautiful leg like this or a piece in your whole project. Or for example, you're building a Christmas tree and you've got all those odd shaped and angles. Well, this jig is absolutely perfect for that. Just gonna offer our jig to the pieces, clamp it down, and there you go, absolutely perfect connection, plenty of clamping pressure on the joint itself as the glue dries. But that's not all. Maybe you need the piece somewhere in the middle, okay, so it's not at the edge, no issues at all. And to be fair, you're only gonna need 1 of these, you don't need the second one. Plenty of clamping pressure here, and it's not going to move absolutely anywhere. Check that out. Absolutely brilliant and simple solution when you need to glue up or put together some sort of an oddly shaped or oddly angled project. And there you go, such a simple solution. Okay, you can make it to any size and it's going to take you what, 20 minutes max, and you probably can utilize the scraps you already got lying about in your workshop. So if you've got plenty of picture frames to put together, you don't have to buy any expensive clamps or create some really intricate jigs that will take a lot of time and effort to make. And I actually done a few of them in the past, but now this solution is so simple, so easy, and is definitely my go-to to actually clamp up my picture frames or any angled projects. Now I hope you enjoyed this little tiny project today. Maybe this will be quite handy in your workshop. But at this point, I just want to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for the ongoing support. And before you go, check out the 2 cool playlists I've got over here. Plenty of great videos already there. Click on them and maybe you'll find your next video to watch. For today, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.